Well, good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of the junior school staff and students, I'd like to welcome you to our 2014 closing ceremony. I'd like to extend a special welcome to David Angus, class of 62, chair of the board, other Board of Governor members who are in attendance today, and to Michael Simons, class of 60, grandson of Curl Simons, founder of St. Michael's School. Closing ceremony provides us with an opportunity to reflect upon our past school year and for each junior school student to receive their promotion certificate, and a time where all the grade 5 students are recognized for their own personal excellence and can celebrate their rite of passage to the middle school. And this afternoon is also first and foremost an opportunity to celebrate the remarkable children sitting before us today, all of whom have worked so hard, they've played so hard, accomplished so much. And don't they look smart in their number 1 uniforms? Please join me in recognizing them. Today we also celebrate an outstanding year of academic accomplishment and joyful learning for the children as our junior school educational vision is implemented and executed across all the grades. Anyone who attended any of the following events, the grade 3 Pioneer Project, the grade 4 Habitat, grade 5 Gold Rush projects, or even more recently our primary celebrations of learning, inquiry into bugs of every sort, the fairy unit, animals. They can all attest to the extraordinary ways in which teachers are facilitating meaningful and creative learning. I'm hoping that you might have noticed how the teachers are helping children to become very actively involved in their own learning process. The children will help to determine big ideas of a topic, and then they embark on a journey of inquiry into things that are really relevant and things that matter to them. You might have noticed teachers helping the children to explore answers to their own questions and to demonstrate their understanding in a variety and a multitude of ways. Teachers are also helping children to explain and present their thinking to authentic audiences, and sometimes through the process of what we call documentation. And the teachers are guiding children to reflect on their own learning, which facilitate deep and lasting connections. So you can see implementing the junior school educational vision for teaching and learning is a highly complex and sophisticated process. And this afternoon, I wish to recognize the entire junior school faculty. They weave their magic day after day as they keep in mind all the essential learning outcomes for their subject within a whole interdisciplinary context, all the while very carefully and sensitively ensuring that each and every child finds the promise in themselves and the world. So please join me in recognizing our teachers. So as we celebrate these rich and deep learning experiences for the children, we must also celebrate their participation in, and the teacher support of, the many, many extracurricular and special events throughout the year. And to name a few, our grade 4 and 5 strings orchestra performances with Mrs. Smith, and the cross-campus choral evenings at the cathedral conducted by Mr. Frater. And perhaps it's a good time for us to recognize our musicians on stage today. Please join me in recognizing our grade 5s. I think every student is involved in the numerous sporting events throughout the year, directed by Mr. Barber and culminating in last week's successful sports day. We had bell choir performances directed by Mrs. Goodman, along with that outstanding grade 2 musical entitled The Drum. And this was directed by Miss Goodman and Miss Duffus. The beautiful art displays throughout the school displayed in beautiful ways. A number of our students' art was also shown at the Independent School Art Show this spring, all facilitated by Miss Agathopoulos. and of course, the many junior school service projects the children are involved in. We had every class attend James Bay Senior Care Home. The children were also involved in the World Vision Project. We had the Grade 2 Gingerbread Project. And this year we found an increase in the student-initiated fundraisers. And you may recall we had a craft fair by the Grade 4 girls for the Heart and Stroke Fund and also the Child Haven organization. And then most recently, we had a Grade 1 fundraiser, Nets for Malaria. So congratulations to our student leaders. And last but not least, of course, we must remember our extraordinary Grade 5 opera. It's fresh in our minds, The Gypsy Baron, performed by our talented Grade 5 students at the Royal Theatre last week, directed by Duncan Frater and supported behind the scenes by over 80 people, included every junior school staff member, along with the Grade 5 parents and a volunteer orchestra, all of whom were deeply committed to bringing out the best in every student in order to enhance their talents, and it created a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was an engaging opportunity for the audience, especially closing night, when the children's energy and enthusiasm exceeded all expectations. Please join me in recognizing again our Grade 5 students and the entire community. So amidst celebrating all of these many academic achievements and extracurricular involvement, it is particularly important to highlight a very special project that we've been embracing and integrating more fully this year, and it's called the Practice of Mindfulness for Young Children. Educators and parents increasingly wrestle with the dilemma of ensuring a balance of academic excellence and other activities with the ever-increasing trend of over-programming young children's lives. The Junior School Mindfulness Project, it came about as one way to help children live in balance, balancing their exuberance for learning and wanting to try out new things with their need to simply play and be. At SMU, we're so fortunate to have a school-wide health and wellness committee led by Virginia Ronning, who's actually here today. She's head of counseling, health, and wellness, K-12. Ms. Ronning has been leading the school in developing a culture where she says, and I quote, "We need the health of the body, the mind, and the heart, and it's considered within the myriad of opportunities available to all students." Ms. Heather Sandquist, our Grade 4 teacher, who's also on the Health and Wellness Committee, has been leading the way for the junior school by teaching the children and teachers the practice of mindfulness, how to keep your attention focused on the present moment so that you might connect with a deeper, calmer, more peaceful part of ourselves. Mrs. Sandquist has integrated the work into the junior school's character education program, our Virtues Project, and she's provided faculty students with a toolbox of strategies to use in classrooms which can be called upon whenever needed. This year, in preparation for today, I asked all the children to write to me about peacefulness, and their thoughts were full of wisdom about what we need to do to create peacefulness in a hurried world. Some students clearly identified the issue of balance, and they provided some excellent solutions. Devin wrote, "As children, we need to let everyone in schools know that we need to have a balance between our studies and our activities, which of course are all fun, but we need a calm, centered space with time for reflection and tranquility." Tori agrees, and she says, "Every day at school and at home, we're so busy, and even though it's exciting, I need to calm and center myself by practicing a mindful moment. It's a strategy of taking deep breaths and thinking in the present moment." Emily added, "When things get so busy in my life, I go to my happy place and I take a mindful moment and some deep breaths, and participating in the yoga club brings me back to myself." And Connor stated, "During the busy times at school, I demonstrate peacefulness by taking that mindful moment before things begin to get really out of hand." Dr. Shefali Sainsbury, author of her new book, The Conscious Parent, would agree with the students' comments. And she suggests that parents teach children the practice of stillness. In her words, parents should allow and plan for stillness in their child's day and schedule. She says we should remind our children that moments of solitude and stillness aren't actually empty moments, but they're moments of fullness in which children can actually experience the presence of their being. That stillness can be introduced into the child's life by going for walks in nature and allowing children to soak in the stillness and serenity around them. Interestingly, many of the junior school children wrote about connecting with nature as a strategy for dealing with their busy lives. For Katie, peacefulness means a sense of quiet within. It's spending time with the trees, with the animals, and all pieces of nature. And Marcus in grade 4 beautifully described his strategy for bringing peacefulness and balance to his day. I'm peaceful when I go on an early morning walk with my mom and sister and my dog. I'm peaceful because I love the feeling of a cool spring breeze blowing against my face and the feeling of hot chocolate gently rushing down my throat. Maggie wrote, "Peacefulness is always there within us to help you in your life. It can help you through the stressful times, and when I close my eyes and I listen to the sounds of the earth, I actually see colors in it." And a mindful moment for Saba is when he, quote, finds that peaceful place next to a tree with time to think about he might change the world. Patrick wrote about the technology dilemma, how useful a tool it is, but he says, I think that all technology is actually making the world less peaceful, and so I recommend more fresh air and time with nature to give children an inner calm. And as an aside, I recently read that, ironically, the Silicon Valley techies are actually leading the way in the area of mindfulness. Ann Mack, Director of Communications at JWT Worldwide, said this almost seems counterintuitive, since technology is perhaps the biggest driver of mindlessness and distraction. And Google now has an in-house mindfulness program called Search Inside Yourself, and they've actually installed a labyrinth in their offices. Even the co-founder of Twitter, Evan Williams, was quoted as saying, "Mindfulness practice is a way to think more clearly and not feel so swept up." In addition to connecting with nature, children need more unstructured time for creativity in order to balance their busy lives. Olivia wrote to me, "I demonstrate peacefulness when I'm drawing or I'm creating, because that's when I feel the most welcome into the peacefulness space. I notice the little things around me, like the chirping of baby birds in a tree or the feeling of wet clay on my hands." Addison spoke of being mindful of our focus on environmental awareness at the school. This helps her find a sense of peacefulness. And she writes, "Peacefulness is getting more exercise and breathing in the fresh air while riding our bikes to school instead of driving." And of course, I liked that quote in light of our parking issues this year. And many of the primary children found that simply spending time with their older grade buddies made life and school in general more peaceful. Mia commented, "Peacefulness is doing mindful moments with our grade 4 buddies, where we experience tranquility." And Sophie says, "Peacefulness means having a mindful moment of reflection with our grade 5 buddies and the beautiful rocks they gave us." And finally, Logan's quote summarizes our mindfulness project. "We can all make our lives and the world a more balanced and serene place if we practice mindfulness. First at home, then with our friends at school, and then within our neighborhoods and our cities, and finally within our province and the world." Today we celebrate not only the children's academic excellence and their participation in the many rich extracurricular events, but I think we should celebrate their inner wisdom and insight about the importance of practicing mindful moments to balance their lives. And today, for homework, I asked the children to teach and share their wisdom with the adults in their lives, giving adults permission to sit still, to take in their beautiful surroundings, and to notice things they might not have noticed for a long, long time. And parents, you may wish to take John's advice to take 3 deep breaths after a hard day, or Tommy's from kindergarten. His suggestion is, the truth of it is that all people really need to know is when to take a break. So I'd like to leave you this afternoon with the beautiful lyrics of a song we sing in chapel on Monday mornings. I'm not going to sing it. Come and find the quiet center in the crowded life we lead. Find the room for hope to enter. Find the frame where we are freed. Clear the chaos and the clutter. Clear our eyes that we can see all the things that really matter. Be at peace and simply be. Thank you.
And now it is time for us to present our certificates, starting with kindergarten Miss Eden. And I would like to ask Mr. Snowden to step forward and present these certificates to the students. Maya Bear, Gabe Bentley, Anderson Brown, Hasmita Chandra, Clara Curry, Savine Forkheim, Callie Gackle, Finley Henderson, Matthew Cricken, Ellie Lobb, William Monette, Molly Pollock, Anya Sneed-Trejo, Matthew Stark, Georgia Streitel, Elliot Tate. Congratulations, kindergarten Miss Eden. And now for Miss Lincoln's class. Jada Aylesworth, Cindy Chen, Sophie Delunière, Tommy Eaton, Samantha Hahn, Nancy Hu, Priya Kaur, Ridley MacLeod, Quinn McMeekin, Michaela Midzi, Gillian Murphy, Josephine Kwan, Ryan Shariati, Parker Sheehan, Annie Tui, Henry Williamson. Congratulations, Miss Lincoln's class. And now for Miss Porteous, grade 1. Charlie Anderson, Will Cudahy, Justin Forkheim, Julian Gale, Avery Geddes, Christopher Hoydle Payne, Connor Kipling, Caitlin Fitzkirkpatrick, Emily Cricken, Elliot Murray, Jacob Meadows, Caitlin Mullen, Roshan Pathak, Anna Plata, Addison Sigurdsson, Sebastian Tarangle, Dean Tatra, Griffin Weeks. Congratulations, grade 1, Miss Porteous. And now for grade 1, Miss Galloway. Avli Bell, Aidan Blom, Lee Dawes, Zachary Ding, Aaron Gill, Catherine Hu, Braxton Lechner, Chelsea Lee, Haven Miller, Cooper Mills, Everest Murdoch, Liam Murter, Kate Pontefract, Will Porter, Owen Sanquist Sherman, Bianca Toaxon, Willow Zonev, Will Woods. Congratulations, Miss Galloway's class. Well done. Thank you, Mr. Snowden. I would now like to ask Ms. Christine Tamburi, the Parents Auxiliary President, to present the certificates to our Grade 2 students. Bryn Beattie, Ali Buller, Katie Eaton, Alex Hahn, Patrick Hisson, Sierra Jacob, Rowan Lee, Rosie Leggett, Liam McIlvaine, Abby McLeish Shaw, Mia Muller, Spencer Peters, Lucas Kwan, Jenna Robinson, Maggie Schmidt, Saba Shariati, Sienna Sheehan, Alejandro Sneed Trejo, Michael Tang, Max Yuan, Tiger Zhang, Jennifer Zwicky. Congratulations, grade 2. I would now like to invite Mr. David Angus, the Chair of the Board of Governors, to present the certificates to our grade 3 and 4 students, starting with grade 3. McKenna Anderson, Jonah Arnold, Daniel Benjamin, Alistair Burridge, Tyson Chestnut, Eva Cudahy, Liam Forbes, Lauren Fracey, Nachel Greywall, Bryson Henry, Kelsey Ibbotson, Jonah Johnston, Xander Leluski, Josephine Mason Woodcock, Arjun Pathak, Alec Plata, Cole Pontefract, Bhavi Singh, Alexandra Toaxon, Ethan Woods, Samantha Yee. Congratulations, grade 3. And now for grade 4H. Olivia Beattie, Jonah Beck, Alexandra Brown, Anna Fowler, Ava Galloway, Catherine Hooton, Jerry Liu, Nevaeh Miller, Marcus Muller, Georgia Tai, Alden Weimar, Matthew Wong. Congratulations, grade 4H. And now for grade 4J. David Baker, Matthew Buller, Cassidy Card, Elizabeth Cunningham, Emma Curry, John Duffy, Marina Jacob, Cypress LeBlanc, Eric Lin, Sophia Kwan, Bree Robinson, Sam Shariati, Willem Seitzma, Christian Ewan. And this is our grade 4J class. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. It's always a pleasure for me to have a chance to speak to this community. It doesn't happen very often, and I take full advantage of it. I always enjoy my contact with the junior school, whether it's at the crosswalk, where I get to know many of you, or at musical evenings, or sports days, or assemblies. It's all good. It might be uncertain to the junior school how much benefit they get from my presence, but there's no question that for my part, it's exhilarating and energizing to spend time with and engage with these students and parents who are fresh to school and fresh to education. Even though my entire life has been in education, either as a student or as a teacher, this involvement with the junior school and its students is a very powerful antidote to any inclination I might have to feel that I'm doing the same thing year after year, week after week. Every week is new. The happy and intense and frank desire to learn that I encounter among these students is refreshing, and it confirms one of my most deeply held beliefs, that young people thirst for understanding and knowledge, and that it's important to create and preserve the conditions under which these students can understand and know. What are the conditions under which this can happen? Well, you need, first and foremost, excellent teachers who are prepared to work on continuing to be excellent. This is paramount, and I repeatedly say to anyone who will listen, and any of you that are around me long enough will hear me say it more than once, that the most important part of my job is to hire the best teachers we can, and then to make sure their excellence remains a priority and a habit. I am immensely grateful to Ms. Richards and her team for rising to this belief of mine. It's a team of dedicated and committed teachers, and they give the school its strength and its power. One also needs coherent and complex programs with high expectations. We at the school are constantly reviewing our programs and searching out the best examples of similar work elsewhere. The process we're engaged in at the junior school currently of integrating the child's three teachers, the parent, the teacher, and the child, along with the environment. This creates a culture of exploration and child-centered learning that includes all of us in this communal exercise. Another key condition under which students can learn and understand is an environment of safety and support, where students are stimulated, smiled at, and have their hands held. This requires the right community of teachers, parents, and other students who are going to make sure brains and hearts are fully engaged. It's the sort of community that creates the large, energetic, and inspiring experience of the Gypsy Baron and makes it a success. We have such a community. Now I want to say something to the students that I always try to say in some form at this time of year. It is that you have all been, it is that all the students in the school have had successes this year. You are being recognized today, and you've been recognized on other occasions, at assemblies, sports day, in class, on the stage. Some successes are very private because only you know how hard you've worked to achieve them. All these successes, both public and private, are important, and you've all done very well. So together, staff, parents, students will continue to pursue the SMUS vision, to learn, to lead, to serve, discovering the promise in ourselves and the world. Thank you. I ask everyone to stand now for the school hymn.
It is now time to present the Grade 5 certificates. Our Grade 5 students will receive a commemorative book to remind them of their special time at the junior school. In addition, each student will receive a personalized written record of achievement booklet which will outline their participation and/or special recognitions in the following areas: co-curricular activities, which include activities like sports teams, sports clubs, and the Red Cedar Book Club; service and leadership activities such as our student ambassador programs, library and computer monitors, and community service; outstanding contribution in individual subjects, where students have consistently made an outstanding contribution to class; distinction in individual subject areas, where students have demonstrated exceptional academic performance in a particular curriculum area; and honor roll for students who have achieved an A average throughout the year; and finally, recognition for our major awards, such as the very special Curl Simon Citizenship Cup, the Alumni Association Award, the Sleg Bowl, and the M.A. Bridgman Memorial Award. When called upon, each student will come forward to receive their record of achievement and commemorative gift from Ms. Richards. As the students come forward, the homeroom teachers will share the strength virtue that they see in them.
Carson Chang. Carson joined the junior school this year, and we have noticed the virtue of creativity in Carson. He takes his time to think about his tasks and does things in his own creative way. Liam Devlin. Liam joined the junior school in grade 4. Liam is a faithful friend and stands up for the ideas that he believes in. Indeed, we see Liam practicing the virtue of loyalty daily as he stands by the people and ideas he cares about. Luka Jurichkevich. Luka arrived in grade 5 and brought such a happy and positive spirit to our school. A warm and cheerful student, Luka can be counted on to make others feel welcome. He truly loves sharing a funny story or joke with his peers. Luka truly demonstrates the virtue of friendliness on a daily basis. Tori Farkas. Tori is a lifer at our school. Every day at school, Tori has quietly treated others with dignity and has spoken and acted courteously to all. Tori always takes a moment at the end of the lesson or the day to thank her teacher. For that reason, we see the virtue of respect in Tori. Logan Higgs. Logan is also a lifer at St. Michael's. A virtue we see in Logan is truthfulness. Logan is someone who really cares about what is right and meaningful in life. He's not afraid to dream big, and we know he'll make a great difference in the world. Jason Ailing. Jason joined the junior school in grade 5. The virtue we see in Jason is enthusiasm. He loves to smile and laugh and approaches his days at school with great eagerness. Oliver Kerr. Oliver joined our school in grade 4, and he consistently demonstrates the virtue of helpfulness. He's always looking for ways that he can be of service to others, and his help, especially with anything technology related, is always appreciated. Amalia Murray. Amalia is a lifer at St. Michael's. Amalia truly shows the virtue of confidence in all aspects of her life. She always embraces new experiences and trusts that she has what it takes to handle whatever comes her way. Quiva McElroy. Quiva joined our school in grade 4. Quiva has really demonstrated the virtue of responsibility this year. Whether she's in the pool or in the classroom, she takes her commitment seriously and she can be counted on to give her best to all that she does. Grace Meadows. Grace is a lifer at our school. A virtue we see in Grace is kindness. Grace is so thoughtful and accepting of others, never one to tease or criticize. Grace always chooses to be kind. Grace Miller. Another lifer at St. Michael's, a virtue we see in Grace is assertiveness. Grace really knows how to think for herself and express her own ideas and feelings with confidence. Devesh Nagarajan. Devesh also joined the junior school in kindergarten. This year, Devesh truly demonstrated the virtue of commitment. Whether it's in the classroom or on the sports field, when Devesh decides what he wants to do, he gives it 100% of his effort. Connor Peterson. Connor is another lifer at St. Michael's. Connor demonstrates the virtue of cooperation every day at school. He works well with his peers, happy to help and share his own ideas, and always open to the ideas of others. Sienna Pike. Sienna joined us this year and has done a fine job of fitting into our school community. A virtue we see in her is determination. Sienna can focus her energy and effort on a task until it's completed, even if it's not easy to do. Claire Pontefract. Claire joined our school in grade 3. This year, Claire truly demonstrated the virtue of diligence. She always works hard and tries her absolute best in the classroom and on the sports field. Hannah Schmidt. Hannah joined us in grade 5, and she demonstrates the virtue of gentleness every day. Rarely one to raise her voice, Hannah is a quiet, thoughtful, and very peaceful member of the class. Emily Selwood. As a lifer at St. Michael's, Emily has consistently shown the virtue of excellence. Emily always does her best, giving careful thought and attention to every task she undertakes. Stefan Chandro. Stefan is a lifer at the junior school. A virtue we see in Stefan is patience. He is quietly tolerant and accepting, even when things don't turn out right at first. Alicia Singh. Alicia joined the junior school in grade 1. Alicia brings the virtue of purposefulness to all that she does. In class, she is a focused student who can really get things done. Marcus Svovland. Marcus joined our school in grade 4. He is a creative thinker who demonstrates the virtue of understanding on a daily basis. He pays careful attention to all that he learns and takes time to reflect in order to see the big picture. Spencer Tweedy. Spencer has attended St. Michael's since grade 4. Always open to the ideas and feelings of others, a virtue we see in Spencer is flexibility. He really knows how to go with the flow. And Theo Young. Theo joined the junior school this year. A virtue we see in him is joyfulness. Theo brings a great sense of humor and a cheerful and eager spirit to the classroom every day. Congratulations to the class of 5N.
Charlotte Blecka. Charlotte joined the St. Michael's University community in grade 4. She's a divergent, creative thinker, a strong leader, and a passionate learner. Charlotte demonstrates a thirst for knowledge and shares with us the virtue of excellence. Alistair Cato, a cooperative, enthusiastic member of the class, Alistair brings a cheerful, fun-loving approach to all aspects of school life. Whether racing down the basketball court or taking the stage in the opera, Alistair demonstrates passion and the virtue of purposefulness. Zarina Chowdhury Stewart, a quiet, polite member of class, Zarina exudes kindness and understanding. She exemplifies the virtue of consideration and respects other people's needs and feelings. Zarina is a collaborative, motivated learner. Anna Dansereau, although a newer member of the school community, Anna quickly demonstrated the virtue of diligence. Kind and tolerant, Anna accepts new challenges enthusiastically and puts forth an exceptional effort. She is sensitive to the needs and feelings of others. Marina Fabris. As a lifer, Marina has exhibited the virtue of excellence. She puts forth a wonderful effort and can be counted on to cheerfully face challenges in all components of the program. Marina is dedicated to her studies and is a considerate, kind classmate. Nadia Frazee. Nadia is a lifer, and throughout her educational journey, she has immersed herself in all aspects of school life. Nadia puts forth a wonderful effort and strives for perfection. She is sensitive and intuitive and demonstrates the virtue of creativity. Jacob Greensel. Arriving in grade 3, Jacob quickly expressed a love of hands-on learning. He enjoys making models and expressing his ideas in a concrete manner. Honest and sincere, Jacob demonstrates the virtue of integrity. Alana Henry. Alana is a quiet, considerate member of the grade 5 class who demonstrates the virtue of modesty. She exhibits a wide range of talents, but never draws attention to herself. Alana accepts praise with humility, and her calm, thoughtful manner is much appreciated. Nicholas Herman. Nicholas is a new member of the school who is always cheerful and lighthearted. He incorporates humor into every task and expresses himself openly and honestly. Nicholas demonstrates excellent thinking skills and the virtue of truthfulness. Maddox Lechner. Maddox was welcomed to St. Michael's University School in grade 5. Always considerate and polite, Maddox shows the virtue of courtesy. He respects his peers and teachers and is sensitive to the feelings of others. Maddox is a keen athlete and a dedicated learner. Jacob Lee, a new arrival at St. Michael's University School, Jacob exhibits the virtue of friendliness. He relates well to his peers and has quickly forged strong relationships. Jacob is a warm, courteous student who creates a dynamic, fun atmosphere in the classroom. Christina Matthews, a highly committed and passionate learner, Christina joined St. Michael's University School in grade 2. She consistently shows the virtue of joyfulness and always strives to produce her best. Christine is dedicated to her studies and is a fierce competitor in sports. Devon Mills. A lifer, Devon exemplifies the all-round student. An accomplished performer and keen athlete, she demonstrates the virtue of self-discipline as she puts forth an excellent effort in all that she does. Devon is a motivated learner who sets high standards for herself. Michael Molden. Michael is a lifer at SMUS, St. Michael's University School, who has consistently exhibited the virtue of determination. Whether on the sports field or facing a challenging task, Michael puts forth a wonderful effort. He perseveres to meet all of his goals and to achieve all that he has set out to do. Claudia Murr. Claudia is a lifer and a dynamic, vibrant member of the school community. She's always positive and eager to participate, and we see the virtue of enthusiasm on a daily basis. Claudia is full of spirit, and her cheerfulness is infectious. Shay Norris. Shay is a lifer who consistently demonstrates the virtue of caring. Despite a rigorous gymnastics commitment, Shay works conscientiously to produce her best. She's a motivated learner who approaches her studies in a positive, enthusiastic manner. Farinay Rolfe, a keen and talented student, Farinay demonstrates the virtue of confidence. She has the courage of her convictions and never lets doubts or fears hold her back. Farinay is kind, thoughtful, and compassionate with her peers. Sebi Singh. Sebi is a lifer and an accomplished student. A virtue we see in Sebi is helpfulness, as he is always ready and willing to offer his support, particularly with technology. Sebi never seeks the limelight, but offers his assistance with kindness and thoughtfulness. Rune Walton. A quiet, committed member of class, Rune concentrates for long periods of time and demonstrates an insightful, analytical nature. He's a motivated learner who gives careful attention to every task. Rune exhibits the virtue of cooperation. Bryn Williams. Bryn joined St. Michael's University School in grade 4 and immediately demonstrated the virtue of commitment. She loves learning and is always ready to go the extra mile and to give her all. Bryn makes decisions quietly and confidently and can be depended upon to produce her best. David Wong Harrison. David is a lifer who faces new challenges capably and cheerfully. Kind and friendly, he demonstrates an inquisitive nature and a desire to learn. David also exhibits the virtue of creativity, and he eagerly participates in artistic endeavors and hands-on opportunities. Mateo Zampano. Mateo joined the school in grade 3. Always willing and polite, Mateo demonstrates the virtue of reliability. He is a responsible worker who can be counted on to keep his commitments and to complete every task to the best of his ability. And this is the class of 5P.
I invite you to sit back and enjoy a slideshow that Mr. Chan has put together for us.
I can remember when you fit in the palm of my hand. You felt so good in it, no bigger than a minute. How it amazes me, you're changing with every blink, faster than a flower blooms. They grow up all too soon. So let them be little, 'cause they're only that way for a while. Give them hope, give them praise, give them love every day. Let them cry, let them giggle, let them sleep in the middle. Oh, but let them be little. I never felt so much in one little tender touch. I live for those kisses, your prayers and your wishes. And now you're teaching me how only a child can see. Tonight while we're on our knees, all I ask is please.
Thank you. Peacefulness to me is when I'm sitting on the couch having a nice warm cup of tea.
Thank you. Peacefulness to me is the color blue, because blue to me is very calming.
Every day, let them cry, let them giggle, let them sleep in the middle. Oh, but let them be little. So innocent, precious soul. You turn around and it's time to let them go. So let them be little, 'cause they're only that way for a while. Give them hope, give them praise, give them love every day. Let them cry, let them giggle, let them sleep in the middle. Oh, but let them be little. Friends to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Come on.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1. See how I can steer it? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good, done.
That was fantastic. Let's thank Mr. Chan for taking so many beautiful photos. And by the way, our slideshow can be downloaded from SMUTube probably by next week. At this time, I'd like to wish our leaving staff and students a very fond farewell as they pursue other directions in their lives, all of whom were recognized earlier this week at our final assembly. It was on Monday. But today, I'd like to just recognize and publicly support 2 staff members who've had a positive impact on the junior school. Ms. Ryoko Sano, Japanese teacher, for her tremendous commitment to the Japanese program, to the school, and to the children. Ryoko is a teacher who quietly and mindfully goes about her work and supports each and every one of us with grace and integrity. And I don't know where you are, Ryoko, right now. Please stand and we'll recognize you. And on behalf of the community, I would like to bid a special farewell to our former junior school colleague who passed away this past spring, Mrs. Doreen Metcalf. Doreen was an inspirational educator who created so much joy for all of her students and for her colleagues. We'll remember Doreen for modeling the virtue of joyfulness and for her great awareness and consideration of the needs of others, her ability to live and be fully present in the moment, and her gratitude for the bounties of life. We take this moment to remember Doreen's sharing of and commitment to the Virtues Project, which is now woven into the fabric of the junior school. And finally, our closing ceremony takes many school departments and support staff to create a special event. And I'd like to thank and recognize the school maintenance staff, Doug Park, James Booth, Dave Ewing at the junior school for setup and countless details. And of course, our food services team. It looks like it's sunny out there, so we'll all be able to enjoy a reception. Mrs. Mary Smith for her preparation today, for today's performance and all performances. Let's give her a round of applause. And we have some flowers for you later. Mrs. Margaret Skinner is accompanying us on the piano this afternoon, and we'd like to recognize Ms. Skinner. And I'd also like to recognize our office admin assistants, Mrs. Williams, Ms. Piazza, and I'd like to especially recognize Ms. Delina Squire, who's new to the junior school this year, learning all of the routines, and I thank them for their support in preparing for today. And last but not least, I would like to give a special recognition to Mr. Barber and Mrs. Cook sitting on stage for their tremendous support to the school, their detailed attention to helping with this ceremony and every other event throughout the year. So please join me in recognizing them. And thank you and congratulations again to our grade 5 students for their outstanding orchestra presentations today. Well done. And on behalf of the faculty, it's an honor and it's a privilege to teach each and every one of your children. They are such an inspiration to us and to their families and to each other. Please stand for the school song, which will be followed by our closing prayer.
Mentioned earlier the importance of mindfulness, and one of the absolute central pieces of that is expressing our gratitude. So a few days ago, Stefan, Shay, and I took some time out from our regular activities and thought about a day at the junior school and the things for which we're grateful. And we invite you to join us in prayer. Let us pray.
Dear God, we are thankful that every time we come to school, we are greeted at the sidewalk by people who want to keep us safe.
We appreciate our teachers who make sure that we understand and help us when we don't. We like how they teach us in really neat ways with jet toys, debates, and projects like the one for the Caribou Gold Rush. They make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to.
We are thankful for great friends who look after us, especially when we're having a rough day, and they're fun to play with at recess. Working on projects with someone we know makes it really fun.
We are grateful for all the supplies that help us learn, like the computers and iPads. We're thankful for the library and all the helpers there. We get to learn languages like French and Japanese. We get to enjoy the fun of being in big groups like music, strings, and choir.
We appreciate the janitors, the groundskeepers, and the green team for cleaning up and making sure that everything goes in the right bin, and the encouragement they give all of us to also put things in the right bins.
We're grateful for having a kindergarten grade 5 buddy. We like to play games at recess like telephone and tag and explore nature with them, like when we look for shapes in the natural world. We love how they're so excited to see us, and they always give us a big hug.
Finally, we're thankful for our parents who make it possible to get this education. They make us lunch, sign the paperwork, arrange for us to get to and from school, and watch us at track meets and the opera.
For all these things, we give our thanks. Amen. Amen. Amen.
This concludes our closing ceremony. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and on behalf of the staff, we wish you a wonderful summer, and all families are now invited to join us in the quad for the reception outside. We ask that you remain standing until the recessional has been completed, and Mr. Barber will dismiss the students in an orderly fashion. Thank you.
Grade 3 students, you may now go. And grade 2 students, please.